So in this video we're going to talk about how to get into people's inboxes more frequently and how to get people's attention and get them to read your emails and really engage with your emails. And one of the first things that you need to do is, if you're using any email provider, you need to make sure that you set up a few key things. So number one is SPF. So these are specific tags that you can put inside your DNS to make sure that the mail can be verified as coming from your server. Your email provider should be able to provide you this. There's also another one of these called DKIM. It's important to have this set up because if you don't set this up, it can affect your deliverability, which is your ability to even reach the person's inbox in the first place. So number one, that's one of the most important things you should do if you're using any email provider to send emails. You should make sure you should have your SPF and DKIM set up. The second thing that you can also do with any email provider is move to what we call a dedicated IP address. Now, generally, if you're using MailChimp or some other service, you'll probably share an IP address with a whole bunch of other users. And that will impact your ability to get in people's inboxes to a certain extent. One of the things that you can do is you can get onto a dedicated IP address that's only owned by you. Therefore, it's only your own reputation on that IP address. Once you get into somebody's inbox, the next important thing is your subject line. You got to make it catchy, you got to make it eye-catching, you got to make it relevant for the user. A number of ways you can do this is to make it targeted for the user, their needs, their preferences. You know, if you know that I like a specific football team, you might include that in the subject line. If you know I'm male or female, you might tailor it to me. If you know what products I've purchased before, or if you know that if I've left something in my shopping cart, you might say, hey Stuart, there's something in your shopping cart waiting for you. You know, what do you want to do? Once somebody's actually clicked and opened your email, then you actually need to think about what sort of value you're providing them. Now, yeah, as a business owner, I get maybe 5-6 cold emails every day from people wanting to sell me things. And the majority of them get put in my spam bin because they're generic sales templates that no one actually uses. When I first started Gleam, one of the things that we had to do every day was email people to try and get them to use the product in a way that wasn't spammy, in a way that actually got us sales, started conversations. You know, so I absolutely do not recommend, you know, sending out a generic email template with a delayed follow-up every 2 to 3 days to do this, because it's just going to get you put in the spam bin. The technique that I used instead was to make it super targeted. You know, so as a giveaway platform, what I would do is I would go on Twitter and I would look at companies running giveaways that were using a platform that either wasn't us or that they were just using Twitter. And then I would recreate their campaign from scratch in our software. And then I would send them the campaign and say, here's what your campaign would look like if you were running it with us. So number one, I was engaging with them by, you know, creating this sort of bond that I knew that they were running a campaign already, but I was showing them how they could make it better. And I had a crazy high response rate, close to 100% of people that I was actually able to get through to with those emails, because it was super targeted. I was sending only maybe 10 per day, but I was providing value. You know, I was saying, here's how you could do what you're doing better. You know, so think about how you can provide value to people in your emails. Because once they click through that subject line and they see that, you know, you're just sending them a load of rubbish, they're going to unsubscribe, they're going to spam bin you. You know, so value is equally important. The final thing that you got to think about is, you know, getting that call to action from the users. So making sure that if you do get through to their inbox, you do get them to click through, you're providing value, what is the outcome that you want to achieve? You know, if that outcome is branding related, you might just be happy with them reading the email, reading one of your stories, reading one of your blog posts. If it's sales related, you might want them to click through to a specific product and purchase. So have a think about, once you are in that inbox, what's the action that you want the user to take? Make sure that's displayed, you know, core in the email. You maybe want to have it in above the fold. You know, a lot of people sometimes bury it at the bottom of the email. That takes a lot of scrolling. You got to play around with that. So those are the important things for me to thinking about: how to get your emails into users' inbox, how to get people to read them, and how to get people to take action from them.
The Foundr mission is to help you create an ass-kicking business and help you learn straight from the mouths of world-class founders. Get your free printed edition of Foundr magazine featuring Sir Richard Branson. Just cover shipping and handling at foundr.com/Branson.